Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Sisters Podcast. This is Gabrielle Celeste. Welcome, welcome. This is my first solo episode, which, by the way, guys, it wasn't planned that way. And we are talking about March astrology, but background in terms of how this all came together. Literally recording this morning of, Monday. We drop on Tuesday, so hours before release. And it's no coincidence that we are in Mercury retrograde shadow, and this is all happening. I've had some challenges with tech, but you know what? We haven't missed an episode. It's coming together. So here we are. Brianna is actually going to be editing this right after I complete this. And I'm kind of bummed because I actually had a really substantial episode already recorded for next week, which I'm going to have to re-record. And that's going to be on what I've learned in my first full year of entrepreneurship, because this week actually marks one full year of me doing Agua astrology for full time. So it's kind of crazy to think about it. But I hope that everyone is doing well in the midst of these eclipses. And at time of recording and drop, we are in between the solar and the lunar eclipse. And I've heard it's kind of wild for a lot of people. And it's a really, I guess, final shed, so to speak, of even though we're in the fire horse year now, but it's the final shed of the wood snake year that was 2025. And I'm excited to get into maybe some more encouraging predictions, so to speak, and to look forward to as we get into the astrology for March. So it's going to be quick and dirty, but straight to the point. We love doing these astrology episodes for you at the end of each month, and you have that to look forward to. And so let's get to it. So the episodes for March, or the word for March, I should say, the word of the month is prosperity. And I, again, got this message at the end of, I want to say October, which is when I put the year ahead workshop together. And the messages that I received were that the collective feels reflective about values, which I think is interesting considering the times that we're living in and what information was recently released and so forth. Many are going inward. It's almost like a second spiritual awakening within the collective, much like many experienced in 2020. And there's a sense of shock and disbelief. And aside from that, there's turbocharged energy related to March and initiation energy overall. After this upcoming Mercury retrograde, which I will share the dates for, all planets are going to be direct, which is great because when planets are direct, time moves more quickly. But also, I can't even believe that we are at the end of February 2026, which is crazy. Like, that is, I don't even know. Time's not real. So fire horse year is going to move very quick. Sense of urgency is really masculine in nature to say that, but it's kind of one of those years where you have to take advantage of the time that you have and really make the most out of every single day, because before you know it, we are going to be in 2027, and 2027, just heads up, does not have the most favorable astrology. So yeah, 2026 though could be worse. I actually really like the astrology for 2026, so it's a year to take advantage of, to say the least. Okay, so let's get into the dates for March. We have March 2nd, 6:16 a.m. Mars enters Pisces. So Mars in Pisces is actually a really relaxed energy. Mars doesn't necessarily care to be in Pisces or the water signs. I mean, he prefers Scorpio, of course, but it's more relaxed, which is actually kind of a nice welcome break. And it kind of alleviates the eclipse energy that is quite literally the next day. So March 3rd, at 3:33 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I thought was wild. We have a lunar eclipse in Virgo at 12 degrees of Virgo. So anywhere in your chart that you have Virgo, whatever numbers that the numbers that the planets sit at are going to be activated. So look to see if you have 12 exactly. If it's nearby, that counts too, but it's going to be more of an impact if you have a number that sits specifically at 12. So we're starting off the month with a bang with the lunar eclipse. There you go. More car accidents happen in eclipses, more deaths seem to occur on eclipses. Take that for what you will. And then later on the same day, March 3rd, Venus is exalted in Pisces at her 27 degrees. So I'm excited for that. I'm curious what this eclipse is going to be in the Virgo Pisces axis. After this eclipse series in February of 2026, we have eclipses again in August of 2026. But I want to say these ones are maybe more, I guess, intense. So just get through these, guys. And whatever reflections that you had and how they tie into themes from 2025, that's really what you want to be capitalizing on. I'm sorry, about these specific eclipses at the end of February and March, and just seeing how they tied into themes from this past year. And so the next date is March 6th at 2:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Venus enters Aries. Venus in Aries is a whole different energy than Venus in Pisces, but we're here for it. Still really good. And when Venus is in Aries, time does seem to move more quickly. Don't ask me why. It's just something I've noticed over the years tracking the planets in their orbital cycles. Then we have March 10th at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jupiter is direct in Cancer. So we still have, at time of recording, we're in the shadow period, and within the next few days, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Pisces. So I'm going to get to the date in which Mercury goes direct in Pisces. But once Mercury does go direct in Pisces with Jupiter going direct, I'm pretty sure that's when all planets are direct. So really excited about that. The next date is March 20th at 7:46 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The sun enters Aries. Happy spring equinox. Happy end of winter, thank God. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it gets lighter and lighter as we build up to the summer solstice on the 21st of June. Shout out to me and Nicole because that's our birthday, the 22nd, I'm sorry. So within the hours after the summer solstice. But I'm so excited for this particular spring equinox because I just feel like the months of April, May were going to be really good. And I remember seeing that when I looked ahead into the astrology for 2026. And then finally, March 20th, Mercury is direct in Pisces, and I have all planets are directed until May. So yes, I was right. And that's going to be at 12:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So March 20th, great day. Great day. We have that new moon in Pisces on the 18th, which I'm just now seeing that I probably should have mentioned that. So the 18th is the new moon. And 18th, 19th, and 20th, it just feels like it's really like nice energy as we go into the beginning of spring, as we go into more sunlight. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we are not mad at it by any which means. So that's what we have for the March astrology, quick and dirty. We're getting it to you because we refuse to miss an episode. We're almost 3 years strong, and we do have some exciting podcast updates coming towards you. Stay tuned. As soon as I get that out from the admin side, I think you'll be seeing things updated on your end when you open up the podcast page, I suppose. So until then, everyone, happy upcoming eclipses, happy March, and we'll talk soon. Bye.